Hey guys, in today's video I have the manicures that I wore in the month of April. I am actually really shocked because today's May 1st and usually I tend to lump 2 to 3 months together, and I'm actually on time for the first time in, I don't know, a really long time. So pat on the back, Diana. So let me get started with the manicure that I actually shared in the Paint Your Nails With Me video. I did that maybe nearly, I don't know, it's been about a month or so. I'll link that up in the cards. In that video, I used some fake nails. I wore these nails for an entire week. I removed them because I was ready to move on. So these are the Kiss Salon Acrylic Naturals. I've mentioned these since I think it was towards the end of last year or so. So the first polishes that I put on those nails, I have Morgan Taylor Look at You Pink a-chu, which is a bubblegum pink cream. 2 to 3 coats. On the fake nails, some nails they were opaque at 2 coats, some nails they needed an additional coat. I think it depends on the application and how thick the layers are. I prefer going in with thinner layers because this is the kind of polish that's going to take a little longer to dry. So anyways, I put this guy on all of the nails except for the ring finger, and then I used Monet from Zoya. This is an iridescent chunky glitter in a lightly tinted pink translucent base. I loved this combo. I thought it looked really beautiful. Monet though is the kind of polish or the glitters where they sink to the bottom, so after maybe 1 or 2 nails I did have to go in with the brush and really swirl it in to pick up more of the glitter or shake it up a little bit. So that does get a little bit annoying, but the end result I thought was really beautiful. A very gentle nail polish remover works on these nails because these are plastic, so they do dissolve, so I wouldn't recommend using 100% acetone, but I went in with this and a cotton ball and removed it. And once I saw that the nail polish removed, I stopped rubbing that particular area because I didn't want to dissolve the nails. I did leave Monet on the ring finger because it's chunky glitter. It does stick to the nail and I didn't want to risk dissolving that nail. So what I did is grabbed Cosmo from Zoya, and this is a silver, it's a mix of silver and chunky holographic glitters. So there's multi-size glitters in here. Some of the glitters a little bit more fine, and then so there's varying sizes, point is. And then on the rest of the nails I put on Breezy Blue from P2. These are the Minute Mani, and you can find these at Walmart. This is a cream and it's a periwinkle color. Great formula, by the way. A couple coats for full opacity for this one. And I loved both of the manicures that I got out of these nails. I adored them. I thought they looked really beautiful. I have China Glaze Emerald Bay. I was wearing this in my spring pics and in my spring seasonal rack video if you guys want to see it live. I love this nail polish. It's so beautiful. It has now become one of my favorite China glazes because not only is the color really beautiful, it's an emerald green color. The formula is just impeccable. It's really good. This is one that does stain the nail or stains the cuticle, but I've mentioned before Sue from, I'll link her Instagram down below, Amy Sue, she gave me a tip a long time ago and she said to mix in, let's see if I can find, I don't think I can find them, to mix some cuticle remover. So I used the Blue Cross cuticle remover that I find at Sally's Beauty, mix it in with 100% acetone, and if there's any staining on the nail from the nail polish, that does a really good job at removing it. So I just pour both, like a half and half mixture of both of them onto a cotton ball and then rub the nails, and it removes any staining. So I don't ever have a problem or complaints about staining. I do mention it, but it doesn't bother me anymore because that solution works so well for me. Good Ginza is another one that I wore, and I actually did a nail of the day for. I'll link that up in the cards. This is a pastel purple. I love this. I've mentioned before, it was part of my spring picks as well. 2 to 3 coats for full opacity. Again, depending on application. If I do 2 thick coats, it gets opaque, or 2 thick layers, it does get opaque, but I prefer going in with thinner layers. So I leave it at 3 coats, but it has a really good formula. It doesn't take a long time to dry, so they're 3 easy coats. And one of my favorites from Essie, and it continues to be one of my favorites. Stella! Estelita! Hush, puppy. God, I'm so itchy. Mutant from CoverGirl is another one that I wore. I attempted a little bit of nail art. I've mentioned before, I'm not very good at nail art, but I wanted to work with a little bit of striping tape. And striping tape is one of those tools that's just, I want to love it, but it's a pain to use. So it was a little bit of a challenge working with the striping tape and then getting the polish onto the nails. But anyways, I did 3 coats of Mutant for that one. I love the end result. I thought it would look really beautiful. It's just it was a task getting it to the end result, basically. I've been doing a little bit of combinations quite a bit because I'm trying to make use out of the polishes that are on my seasonal rack as well as polishes that are in my project polish. So I combined the 2 worlds. I used indigo from Zoya, and then I also used Essie's Check Your Baggage, which is the yellow that came out in the, I think this is part of the Flying Solo collection. I want to say that it is. And I did a little dotted cure action for that one. So half of the nail was indigo and then the other half was check in your baggage from Essie. This one on its own takes 1 coat. It's a 1 coater. It actually has an amazing formula. I'm nearly done with this one. I'm actually really excited because I'm not done with it because I do enjoy it. I'm just ready to move on from it. Check your baggage. It's not check in your baggage. Check your baggage. This one takes 3 coats for full opacity. Another combo that I did using indigo because I'm trying to make use out of this polish and just find different ways for me to continue to enjoy this nail polish. So as a base, I use Color Club's holographic. So a couple coats for this one as a base, and then I use this because I figured since this one gets opaque at 1 coat, let me try to stamp with it. It was pretty opaque, but there's some areas where it just didn't catch very well. But anyways, I did a little chevron print stamping using indigo over top of holographic. This one is just so amazing on its own. I think anything that I pair with this one, it'll still look amazing because it's a fantastic polish. Another one, you're gonna get sick of, you're gonna get sick of this. Another one using indigo from Zoya. Okay, so this one I used as a base, and then I seen this this nail art on Pinterest where they did kind of a drop of like a splatter paint design. Mine doesn't look like a splatter paint design at all. I mean, that manicure looked so good and so clean and crisp, and like you can see the whole purpose of that of that manicure, like what the intent was, to where mine just ended up becoming an abstract manicure only because I don't know, I dug into the dots of the polish that I dropped onto my nail. Okay, point is that I put indigo from Zoya as a base, and then I used my dotted cure tool to drop different colors of polishes. So I used Check Your Baggage, I used Mutant from CoverGirl, I used what is this called? Free to Roam from Essie. I don't have very thin nail art tools like brushes or very fine tips. I think I used a nail art brush, but it was too thick, so it was dragging too much of it to where it no longer looked like a splatter paint kind of design. Again, it ended up looking more abstract than a splatter paint. And then I topped that over with this Orly holographic topper. I've mentioned this in multiple videos now because this used to be in a project polish, I want to say a couple of years ago, and then I got sick of using it. So every time I can remember to use this polish, I continue to use it, although it's not in a project polish. It's just one that I want to continue to use. I like the density of the holographic. It's not a very fine holographic. It's a little bit larger, I would say, than the I&M Northern Lights holographic top coat, but I do enjoy it. And because I think I wasn't sure about my design, I figured, well, let's top it off with a holographic top coat because holographic top coats make everything look better. In the end, I was really happy with that design. I thought it looked pretty cool. Anyways. Then I have another project polish here, and I used Pacific Blue from Sally Hansen. When I first got this nail polish, I know everybody was so obsessed with Pacific Blue, but it was never my favorite. I liked it, but I never truly loved it for what it was. And I guess for me, it's because I always loved Endless Blue from Sinful Colors. I just loved the depth of that blue compared to this particular blue. Anyways, this time around when I put it on, I fell in love with it. I thought it was really beautiful. This one takes a couple coats for full opacity. It has a really good formula. The color is beautiful, and I'm glad that I actually put it in my project polish so that I can have I have now a newfound appreciation for this nail polish. Acid Wash from Zert Colors is another one that I wore. This one has, I want to say, a very soft blue. Like, it's a blue that has a ton of white in it. I'm not making a lot of sense. And then anyways, it has little speckles in here that are denim blue, and some of them look like they're a little foily, but it also looks like it has micro, I don't know if they're silver or holographic. They're holographic. I can never see the holographic on my nails. But it has little micro shimmers in it as well that I don't see on the nails. More than anything, what I see is the pale blue base and the little blue speckles. So beautiful, by the way. If I remember correctly, it was nearly opaque in one coat. If not, it was a one coater. So 1 or 2 coats. I'm surprised about this nail polish, man, because this is not usually when you see polishes what the hell just happened? Okay, usually when you see polishes like these with the little glitters, right, the little speckles or whatever, the base a lot of the times is more of a curly so that you can see the glitters within the base. But this is not that. The base is very concentrated, super opaque. I was highly surprised that I nearly got it opaque at one coat, and yet you can see all of the glitters on the nails. This is beautiful, not only in color but also in formula. I do love it. I know. Rewind. Editing Diana jumping in here because I totally missed on making the point I was trying to make. On Cirque's website, it says that this has a pale blue base with blue speckles, I think is what it says. I purchased this last year and I must have forgotten either the details of this polish, or maybe I bought it without really reading the details for some reason in my mind, because when I see this polish or this bottle in person, the base looks either white or it looks like a pale blue. It's really hard to differentiate it because it's so pale. And so when I put it on, I for some reason had it in my mind that it was a white base with blue speckles, and that's not what I got. I see a little bit more of the pale blue, so it threw me off. That's not this polish's fault. That's not Cirque's website's description. That's just me forgetting what this was and having it said in my mind it was one thing when it was something else, basically. So I just wanted to clarify that. So now moving on. Lastly, what I have on my nails right now, which you really cannot see, I have Pop Beauty. This is Granite Glam. It's a gray cream. Super great formula. Nearly a one coater. If I'm careful with my application, I could probably get this opaque at one coat. But I never just wear one coat on my nails because I appreciate the support. I want to top it over next with Point Me to the Party from China Glaze. I'm kind of concerned though because the base of this is slightly tinted, so I don't want it to change this. Anyways, right now what I'm wearing it with is with Maria Luisa from Zoya. I bought this polish because that's my mom's name. This is one of those polishes that you have to shake up all of the time. The glitter always settles to the bottom. I don't have a problem with that though because this is beautiful. It's more of like an antique kind of gold. The glitters are multi-size. They're almost like little shards. Put this guy over top of this and then I mattified it, and that's when the magic happens, people. Oh my god, these look amazing together with a glossy top coat, but with a matte top coat, I don't know, something really special happened with this manicure. I really love it. It actually brought out, and it almost like right now in this light, the base of this, like this, looks almost like a sage green. It's really beautiful, and I don't know if it's just the matte top coat that does that to this, or if it's the combination of the gray and the gold and the matte top coat that kind of shifts the color a little bit. I've been having issues with my Essie Mad About You because I was nearly down here. I was past the halfway point of it used, and then I got a bunch of the little white specks that annoys the crap out of me. What I did, because the matte top coat that I tried using is the big matte top coat from Sally Hansen. I've mentioned that this is very inconsistent and it drives me nuts. And it drives me nuts because when I put it on my pinky finger, I get this matte velvety finish though. It almost feels a little fussy, and that's my favorite matte finish and I freaking love it. But it's very inconsistent, so it drives me bananas. So what I did is I thought, okay, well this needs to be revived. This is crap. Whatever was left here was unusable, and then this just doesn't work. So I thought I'm not gonna lose anything if I combine the two and see what I can get out of it. and it ended up working. It's not as velvety, but it's still velvety. I feel like this by itself is even more velvety than the Essie Matte About You. But anyways, I love the matte finish that it gave me. And actually Vee, she recommended that I clean off the top, like this rim right here, because as you're wiping your brush off of the neck of the bottle, this tends to dry, you know, as you keep using it. And so when you're dipping in and then going like this and then picking up some of the dry little specks, that's the little white specks that it leaves in this. Either that or it's remnants of other polishes. I'm not really sure, but I did clean the neck of the bottle. I actually appreciate that tip because I want to be able to use this entire bottle without getting more and more and more specks. I still get little white specks, but not as many because I put this guy into this guy. I just thought I would let you guys know, if you guys have an Essie Matte About You top coat that's pretty low and that maybe you haven't used and you want to finish it out, maybe mixing in a matte top coat that maybe it's not your favorite, mixing it into this and then see what comes out of that, just so that you know, we could get use out of our stuff. That is everything for this video, guys. All of the manicures that I wore in the month of April. I did have some favorites. I had some that worked out, some that didn't work out, you know, that didn't work out so well. For me, one of my favorites is definitely the manicure that I'm wearing at the moment. I think it's so dang beautiful and unique. Someone mentioned on Instagram that it looked like antique, like an antique something, and then somebody also mentioned that it gave them indie vibes as well, which is really, really cool. That's what I love about combining polishes and finishes and things like that, and just playing around with different polishes, because you come up with unique combinations sometimes. And I love it when it works out. You know, it doesn't always work out, but I love it when it does work out. So thank you guys so much for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.